Hey, good morning, people. Good morning. This is Spirit Journey. Hey, yes, today is Saturday. Hello, Saturday, here in Rwanda. Yes, you're looking at my window. And yes, today is October 25, 2025, and it's about 5:20 in the morning. Yes, so beautiful out here. So other window. Beautiful, beautiful breeze. And Lavi, if you can see him a little bit. Yeah, I just put him on the bed. Yeah, just feel like doing a little talking today. This morning, I'm going to talk about social media, and it's pulling us down. Is it worth it, people? Yeah, I was just watching a video. Someone, an old neighbor from America. And during the 2020 season, I think it was 2020 around, I discovered him. And he pretty much was doing the same thing I was doing. Remember back in the day, I would go out with my dogs with the stroller, and then I'm trying to hold my camera in my other hand. Yeah, I apologize if it was really, shaking and all that. But yeah, but he basically did doing the same thing, but he had a selfie stick to hold it more in place, and you know. But yeah, I like to. Back then, I would walk around, go into the park, and film. Just talk my thoughts, whatever. And the other person would talk also, but more like politics. And yeah, so I was just watching him. He was doing his old style, and he was explaining. Well, he used to do collaborations, and the two I thought worked excellent together. And now they're not going to work together again. There was some. Well, yeah, this will be the second time. Yeah, they yeah they used to do collabs for years, for over 5 years. Their work was phenomenal. And they also had their private work as well. And this YouTuber just announced that, well, based on, well, something was said publicly. The two, okay, the two collab, and they were interviewing someone. And unfortunate, there was name calling. And because that his collaborator, the person that he used to collaborate with, used the name calling, said the name calling to the guests. I'm surprised that would happen, but the guest, and I would feel the same way. The guest was highly offended. Yeah, it was a very, very offensive statement, um, and the guest took it as that the two, um, it was a sentiment that both. So he had to explain, the person I'm talking about, um, the former neighbor, say, look, what that other person says is what they say. I didn't say it specifically. I didn't say it. So look, I did apologize. Says, look, you two, I know you used to work closely together. And he said, called me a name, and so I took it as that it's both of you. And so I think most people would feel that way. Now, if I knew someone was very close and mudslinging. Unless you say immediately, hey, so and so, don't say words like that to the guests. Then that's another person. No, look, don't talk like that. So why am I bringing this up? Um, social media, it is taking control over us. And people are getting out of shape. Um, and as this YouTuber was saying, look, I do this for a living. I make my bread and butter off of these videos. I think the other person too, unless they get the Social Security or something. I don't know, but my understanding that they all get money off of the videos, or if they have uh, products to sell. But it seems like um, the YouTubers it's like a battlefield. It is like a battlefield. People get channels, and some people reach was it the 1,000 mark or 1,500 mark of of viewers or something. You need a certain amount of views, or subscribe or subbies to get monetized. So everybody wants to reach it real fast. And it seems like that some YouTubers will do or say anything. And it seems like when you get controversial or you start name calling, you start to wonder if people were in public, if people were in a room together, and what would they say? What would you tell that person to their face? Because we're behind a screen, it's like people could call each other names or make accusations. And they've never made, some may have never met the person. Wow. Yeah, this person, this YouTuber, saying, look, I get my bread and butter, so to speak, from my videos. And so he publicly announced that he will no longer do collabs with that person because it could hurt his income flow. And so so I understand that. I don't like where social media is taking us. Social media is taking us like the term like a independent investigator or investigative reporter. People have their cell phone or their camera device, and they walk around. Some may might make other people feel uncomfortable with the camera. It might be aimed at them, or maybe not. It may not even be aimed at them, but people don't want to be videotaped, and I understand that. I understand that. Even though, yes, you're outside and it might be public area, I can understand that. You don't want to be on camera. You don't know what that person's going to do with that footage. So I understand that. But some people get violent. One YouTuber had his camera in the city, in New York City on Canal Street. And it's an area where you have a lot of illegals selling counterfeit, usually it's counterfeit or cheaply made items. And they were attacked. This cameraman was attacked. What's happening now? So what was like innocent, like, okay, you got your camera. Hey, let me investigate. And you have your camera, you're going out. I remember even myself at one now I was doing videos and the camera would be on me. Or when I reached the park, I used to go to Central Park and show the trees and all that. I'm not into people with my camera because I understand about privacy. When I go out, I want to feel a sense of privacy. And yeah, someone has a camera, oh, showing videotaping the trees, the squirrels. I don't, we don't have a problem with that. But when you feel like you're being watched, I remember this person. It was, you have these weirdos out there, and a weird guy, and he's walking, and then he would extend his arm and then pull it back real quick to put in somebody's face, and keep on going, and then boom again. And some people are crazy, and I'm wondering with that individual whether his aim was to get you to yell at him, whether he was trying to provoke you. It was very bizarre. He was a very bizarre young man. It's like in his 30s, I think. Um, yeah, you have people out there who want to provoke anger. They know what they're doing. But now it's like everybody wants to be an investigator. And we get emotionally charged. Yeah, I mean, I get emotional sometimes. With the news, it's unreal. The news that we're getting is so um, alarming. And we're human, and we take out our smart device and we do a video. We share how we feel about these current events. It's unbearable sometimes. So I'm thinking, what was a fun toy to have these smart devices, and I think it's becoming addictive. Oh, yeah, I've talked about that. Um, Now, many people now get their bread and butter off of doing these videos, to go live streams, and especially now, collaboration with somebody else. You might have one, two, maybe even three people on your live stream, having a discussion. And I notice when you have more than one guest on your live stream, it gives a sense of importance, like you're an important person, or what you're saying is authority, like the news, like the formal news stations that are out there, in the past. Now, the individual, you don't have to have a college degree. You could be a teenager. You just have a smartphone that's a good camera, and you talk in it. And some people know how to do these fantastic edits. Some people know how to create a beautiful thumbnail, and they could become popular overnight. So, like, yeah, I was thinking just before I did this video, and just before I saw today's video with my old neighbor, um, I used to watch this one YouTuber just briefly. I was still, I was still in America, and yeah, I think I saw that person. It was a fire in Maui. Yeah, a little over 2 years and years now. It was August 2023. There was a big fire that destroyed that's the town of Lahaina, where I used to live. And if you do what do you call it, a Google Earth um, view of the area, you can zoom in and see where I used to live. The house, the little farmhouse, like what do you call it, planter house. I forget that name. Like the people used to do farming, on the land and everything. Yeah, that type of house, a wooden frame house, all demolished, rubble, literal rubble. Um, she later on, this YouTuber, went to visit Maui, and to get the information head on. Um, and I valued her work, some of the things, because I used to work there. I worked in Lahaina and I lived right in town. I lived there. I was able to walk to work. Every building that I worked in. I worked in restaurants there, jewelry shops right on Front Street in Lahaina. All rubble. It's very sad. So I have an emotional attachment to this person, this YouTuber, when she started to share content and visiting there and setting goods to the people, money or resources to some of the people she interviewed, I appreciated it, I mean, I no longer live in Maui, but I used to live there. I wasn't living, just want to make it clear, I wasn't living there when the fire hit. I moved a long time ago. I left Maui in 2001. Yeah, the summer of 2001. And I knew a lot of people that lived there, on the island. So I'm very sad. I take it personal. Um, so I saw her work for a season, for a little bit, and then the uh, the talk of Lahaina ceased. No one was really talking about it, and I moved on. And then just recently this month, I see her on YouTube again, discussing about the Charlie Kirk, and a lot of people are talking about it. I've talked about the Charlie Kirk incident, and it's over a month now. It's like a month and a half, and I'm just it's very I was glued. I was glued to my cell phone on that story. But now it's like intensifying the investigation. People who don't know him, people who've never met him, are doing so much investigative work. And then there's a lot of information coming out, but there's also a lot of mudslinging. And now it's come to a point, what it looks like, what it smells like amongst YouTubers, that who's more right. And now it's like a competition. And you have people who've collaborated on videos on the topic, on the Kirk. And now it seems like people are imploding on themselves. It's imploding. You get people talking about it, and then they're arguing between each other. And the name calling now. People who've never even met each other are pointing and name calling them. And it's like, wow, what's going on now? Come on. You don't know, you never met this person. You just see the person's videos. And I did interject. I did talk to that YouTuber, and I said, look, I understand, you know, both of your feelings. I understand. But this person actually knew the person and they were friends. I could understand why they'd be upset. They know them. I said, come on, um, it, it's blowing, it's really escalating. I said, look, I respect your work. I said, look, I respect your work. Your work is good. I remember you from Maui, your Maui videos, and I respect your work. I used to live there. It's very sensitive, this story. but it's escalating. And they said, "Well, do you think it's fair that they say that?" Uh, I said, "Look, it may not be right, but I can understand when someone gets angry, and to see that a friend of yours is head almost blown off, it would make anybody react." I said, "Please, it's escalating. Please, don't name call." I said, "Your work is too good for that. It's just getting out of control." This was a couple of days ago. I addressed the person, and they didn't respond back to that one. My pleading with them. Hey, come on, you don't have to go there. You don't have to go there, people, YouTubers. See, what's happening is that what it looks like what's happening, I should say. What it looks like what's happening. You get a topic. You get an event that happens, and everybody wants to get the first news in there. They want to get the camera in there. You have some who have money to travel international. International. You could go all over the world. Wow. Young people. Some of them are becoming so popular. They're rolling in money. Young people. They have a cameraman, or camera lady, whatever, and you make it so much money now because now you're able to afford to go where the action is. It's amazing. It's amazing that ability. So more power to people who who are blessed in getting the views, to get the monetization. It is a powerful feeling. It is powerful. I used to be monetized. They demonetized me almost 2 years ago. In November, next month will make it 2 years being unmonetized. But it was like slowly, slowly and more slow. Um, the 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 powers were deleting my videos, um, or they put me on in the doghouse, so to speak, and not allowed to do any content for 2 weeks. And then they put me on, or they say, "Oh, well, this might be in violation. You could contest." And then when I contest, "Oh, yeah, you're right. It's okay." They know with my videos that it's really the first 24 hours that who's going to watch my videos are watching it. So they cut into it so I don't get money. It's evil. It's absolutely evil to do something like that. So I know what it's like to make money on YouTube, and I got just a little pocket money. Yeah, it was just something supplemental. I got it from, I think, my first check. It's not a physical check. I think it was 2020. Uh, oh yeah, 2017 or 18. Yeah, I applied for monetization in 2017. That's when I got notice that I'm eligible. And then I slowly started to get. Yeah. So it's a good feeling when you get a little something, even a penny. There are people who are making maybe close to over 1 million a year. More power to them. But it seems like something's happening. There's a hunger game. It's like a hunger game. And you have the wild, wild west. Everybody wants to make it rich. They take out their cell phones, their cameras, and they go out there. Or they just do commentary and they say things. They do the collabs. And you can have friends or buddies who are collaborating. And then they turn into enemies, or they can't do collabs. were my favorite channel. They're no longer, again, the second time they stopped doing collaboration because one of them used a very pointed insult at the guests. We're getting too bold. I'm really shocked that that person would say that because I highly, highly respect their work. But when you get money involved, you can have the best of friends, and then you stop talking to each other. Is this what it's like now? Is this what it's all about? Was this what the gold rush was all about in the 1880s? You had poor people from Europe. You had some freed slaves, and they want to make some money. They hear about some gold in the West, and people got ugly. People were carrying weapons, and people were unaliving each other. I can understand during the peak of slavery, people, in chaos. People were more friendly during those times. You didn't hear all those mass, these unalivings of the general population. I mean, yes, the people were, who were enslaved, that some were being coerced, of course. Of course, you had, I'm not trying to deny that didn't happen. Yeah, you had those who were in bondage, who were being coerced and threatened, intimidated, that if they didn't perform, they'll be harmed. Yes, you had a lot of that. But outside of those plantations, man, I'm talking about outside of those plantations, you didn't hear of these wild, these things happening. But when the people start going west, and they had the promise of getting rich overnight, people went crazy. And it seems like now with social media, people are going crazy. I've seen YouTubers that and they start out normal. Normal. I talked about this before. They were normal. They sound normal. They had a friendly channel. Friendly. And then, I'm getting email. This person said that someone is sending me email and they're attacking me, blah blah. And they sound like they lost their mind. They became paranoid, and they started to be really reactive and saying horrible things. And I reached out to that person before. Hey, what's wrong, buddy? And then they publicly try to shame me. They thought I was. I thought I was in on something. I couldn't believe it. This was back in 2017. 17 or early 2018. So this is a while back. Someone who I highly respected. And it's just like they lost their mind. And then they eventually pulled all their videos. And another time they changed the name of the channel. So I stopped getting I thought they said we're going to leave for YouTube. But they didn't leave. They changed the name. But I was still getting recommendations to the video. I said, what is this? Who is this person? I didn't subscribe to this person. So who is this person? And I kept on getting the video. So I clicked, I said, who is this person? And that's how I found out he changed the name. Yeah, other people, they start off fantastic, had fantastic content. They were making movies. And then he had a meltdown. Then another person had a meltdown on what's going on. Yeah. Things are happening. This is it's really turning into a dangerous activity. Having a YouTube channel. having these other social media, people are getting ugly. People are name calling. People who never even met each other. Yeah, I have concerns about certain YouTubers who had um, post posted some. It was just something that I had in my um, quest. Like sometimes um, like someone might come out and I find their work fascinating, and I was just so impressed, and so I wanted to research, how they came about, and I was all like starry eyed, and I should say starry eyed, but I was just fascinated with them. I looked up to them, and it was just an inquiry, and found out some things that were very, very problematic, and it's like if you want to find, it's like I'm afraid to dig into someone who I might admire. I mean, there's no perfect person, but it's like two sides of a person, and it could be spooky. It's like, what is this? Um, yeah, I had concerns about certain matter, but now it's like people are now publicly. It's like a trial with no jury. Just they're just being accused of certain things, whether it's true or not. And it's like, wow, I don't want to go there. I don't want to be a part of that. He said, she said, they said, and what it looks like that with the algorithms, if you start to argue and name slinging, mudslinging, I should say mudslinging, um, that you get more popular. And with popularity, meaning that more people watching your content, maybe you get more subscribers as a result, and thus, if you monetize, more money. And and then the more money you make, the more you want. The more popular you get, the more popular you want. And that is the issue here, that we're turning into the Wild West with these social media. You can have buddies or friends who are doing collabs, turn into enemies, and lawsuits. Some people are being followed. Some people, as I said, lawsuits. We hear the birds. Oh, the birds, you saw that? Oh, that's a big bird. Yeah, there's some big birds here. Yeah, there's some people who are being sued because something was said. People, I don't want to go there. I'm very sad. Yeah, I just found out about the person that used to be a neighbor of mine back in America. For a second time, say, look, we can't collab anymore. Um, they had to send notice to the lawyers on the other side that the video was pulled, the questionable material that was, the name calling, was pulled. Litigation. Litigation. Wow. I mean, I look at it and it's just, is it worth it, people? Is it worth your sanity. Yeah, I used to do, I remember one time, yeah, it was 2017, 2018 was my peak, I think, in video uploads. And I did it for fun. It kept me busy. Um, is it worth it though? To you have a buddy. A lot of people meet via social media. You may never have met the person, but you might do collabs, but you've never physically met. Isn't that something? Yeah, I've talked to people online, but I never personally met them. I met one YouTuber. Oh, what year was that? That was 2015. Yeah, 2015, I met my first YouTuber person I used to watch. And I was the only person. I met them and their family. And that was it. And then I met a person who recognized me from my old channel. And that was it. Oh, and then I met that neighbor. Yeah, in 2022, I met that neighbor. And he was just about to do a live stream when I saw him in my neighborhood. Yeah, I got a real kick out of it. So yeah, sometimes like they become bigger than life. Some of these YouTubers that you see on screen, they're just regular people, but they have a platform. And now it's really getting out of hand. Yeah, I might have mentioned one or two videos ago. Um, I'm slowly like the recommendations that you get on YouTube. Um, you have an option on it, like there's these the three little dots, and sometimes when you press it, it gives you the option, do not recommend video or channel anymore. Like I don't unsubscribe. I just say don't recommend any more of their videos. That's how I do it. And one of my favorite YouTubers, I watch them daily, daily, daily. And I finally had to say, goodbye. It was just getting too much for me. They'll go on. Again, I'm not going to say any names or anything like that. And I like them, but I see that social media and YouTube changes people. They get to a level and they get consumed. And when they were saying, based on some numbers, that such and such event is going to happen, or this event's going to happen, and then it doesn't happen. And it's like hype, 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 hype. And then they did another, okay, so I think such and such is going to happen such and such day based on these numbers. And nothing happens. And it's like they're just waiting for this particular event to happen. And this has been going on for a couple of years. A couple of years now. I've been watching this other YouTuber for at least since, let's say I left in 2023. It could have been 2021. It could have been 2021. And or even 2020. And I said, I can't take it anymore. I can't take I like before I pressed that button for the past few months for this year. I usually watch the whole video, no matter how long it was, I watched the whole thing. And then I noticed I started watching a little less each time. And then it was like maybe 5 minutes I watch, and then I change it. And I finally decided, hey, it might be time to just say, don't recommend any more of his videos. Yeah, I had even sent him money before. I highly respected his work, but it's irritating me now. And I find YouTube has a season, or life has a season. I could watch something and watch and watch and watch, and it's fabulous. And then something just says, I don't want to watch anymore. I had enough. Or relationships with people, you see, everything was good, and then something just changed. It seems like these things are devised or designed that it's all for a season. It's all for a season. Then you say, I'm going to move on. And I'm thinking this for myself. That's what I'm getting at. Yeah, those are the bird. Those are oh, geese or not geese. Um, stalks, I think they're called. Yeah, this is out in the wild. I love it. I love the sound of the birds. Yeah, yeah. Okay, going back. Yeah, so people, I'm very concerned. Um, yeah, I find that it's affecting me. Um, yeah, I haven't been going on. Yeah, you can see Laffy here. That's Lavender. I just put him on the bed like a half an hour. He's jumping. Probably dreaming. That's little Laffy. Yeah. I used to go out more, and I see that I'm not going out as much. And part of the reason, because Lavender is he like 1 minute he can walk, and then another minute he's like, it's more like now he's having difficulty walking. And forget about eating. If he's eating, he doesn't have the strength to stand up for long eating his food. Yeah, my little boy. Yeah, you saw my videos with him, my little Lavi. Remember when I did those walks back in New York, or when I would go on Happy Street. Yeah, a lot. I went a lot last year, 2024, to Happy Street. Oh, he loved it. And then all of a sudden, um, he started getting eye infections out of nowhere. I think his eye infection started in January of this year, 2025. Yeah, his immune system is very weak, and the vet said minimize his active physical activity. Yeah, so and then his last blood test, his blood levels dropped again significant. Yeah, so he's back on his higher dose. Yeah, his dosage initially a month and a half ago was decreased because I thought it was we might have found part of the problem, but no, his body is attacking itself. His immune system, his bone marrow isn't producing uh, the his blood, you know. So he's back on his higher level of the meds to keep his body, from destroying itself. I'm so sorry. So I'm not going out as much to keep him home, to decrease the exposure to potential toxins. Um, so what I want to do now? So I really have to think now. Okay, I have to help myself and my little baby here. You know. So yesterday, what I did yesterday, I went to the store. Yeah. I went to like remember I've told you this before. Um, when I was still in America and I was writing my my letter of introduction, for my visa application about living here, I said to myself, I when I come here, I want to plant a garden and I wanted to grow watermelon. Yeah. Yeah, I want to grow my food. For me, it's like tapping into that time when I was like 9, 10 years old, 9, 10, 11. And I was, my household that I lived in, uh, they were growing seed, plants and everything. And I wanted to do the same thing. Yeah. So, so it puts a smile on my face about those times of innocence. And so I want to tap into that little girl in me. Yes, I'm a little girl in heart. And so I'm planting seeds. I'm growing an avocado. Yeah, okay. Okay, good boy, Lavin. He's waking up. He's waking up. So yeah, so I want to spend more time growing plants. I want to grow things that I can eat. I think it's so spiritual to be able to do so. And people, it's hard work. Oh my God. They make it look easy, right? Some channels you go out there, they have like a massive garden of beautiful fruits and veggies and herbs. I don't know how they do it. Like you see at the window here. I should zoom in. I'm growing squash or pumpkin. And these leaves that you see, they have this white powder on it. It's a mildew. So yeah, so I ordered this water can. I'm gonna put like medicine in it, like a vinegar or something, to kill off the mildew. Yeah, it was growing beautiful. Yeah, it was growing beautiful, people. And then the mildew. So plants could get diseases. Remember those beans that I was growing? Remember I showed you? They were perfect. And then the next harvest, they were infested with these something. Bugs got in it. It was disgusting. I couldn't eat any of it. They all got attacked. Yeah. Oh, I'm growing more beans. I got a new harvest. Yeah. So they keep on reproducing. These are my beans. It's called the sword bean. They're giant pods, about 10 inches long, and the beans itself is real big. Yeah, I got the beans here. I found them on the ground. I found, I think, 5 big beans, and I dried them out and then I planted it. Oh, it was so exciting. Okay, the time, yeah, my power's almost gone, so I have to hurry up. Yeah, so what's happening now? I'm asking myself, spirit journey, what is that you want to do? You're indicating that you're getting tired because of the intensities of some of these these videos and content creators. You don't want to feel like you're in the wild, wild west. You're here in Africa to start a new life of peace and love, to grow your food. That's what I came here for, you know. And so, yeah, yesterday I went to the store and I purchased. Yeah, I'm having them made. They're garden bags. Like it looks like a tote bag almost, but it's like a thick material. And you could plant in them and have handles so you can carry it to different locations. So I ordered like 7 big bags and then these 5 baby bags and the little baby bags for seedlings for me to grow seed, put seeds in it and watch it grow in there. Yeah, these plastic bags that you see, they're the pink ones that you see, those are actually poo-poo bags. Yeah, before I came here, I purchased a whole slew of little poo-poo bags, so, for my dogs. But you know what happened to my dogs. So I have a lot of them. And so I said, hey, I could put dirt in it and grow my seeds in it. But see, it's not food grade plastic bag. And they tell you this is not to store food. Okay, they tell you that. So I had um, moved my plants up on the balcony because it wasn't doing well outside. It was too much sun. So I said, hey, let me put on my balcony. And my peppers, my red pepper, what do you call it, my hot, I think they're cayenne peppers actually. They're actually doing well. They're growing really nice. So I said, hey, um, I don't want them to stay in the plastic because it's not food grade plastic. And let me get something better grade. Let me get something for what it's made to do. So yes, I went to the shop. She was very nice, very friendly. Um, yeah, some things, some communication is better in person, and this was one of them. On the phone is it's awful. So I went in person. I had a fantastic time, and so I also I'm getting them custom made, the bags, and you could give like I gave her we decided a certain dimension. I wanted them like to have a square base, not anything narrow. The one that they had when I went there, it was narrow, real narrow but tall. I said I can't put my plants in there. So yeah, so um, they're just changing the dimensions of it. So it's a big base and shorter. So that's what I'm getting. And I'm going to do some transplanting. I have some soil downstairs. And as a backup, I ordered an extra bag of the soil, compost. And I'm going to do these, want to plant my veggies. And I want to spend more time in my garden. Um, I want to try to do more reading. I have a whole slew of books. I have over 250 books plus ebooks. And my fellow YouTubers are attacking each other, and I don't want to get caught up in it. Yeah, I think it's the addiction. These cell phones and uploading and watching, it's getting us addicted. And when the fear of that money drying out, and again, I'm not monetized. I don't get anything. And I can't receive money either. There's a, yeah, I can't receive money here in Rwanda. Yeah, I try to say, hey, like I have another channel on Rwanda specifically. It's called, oh, what is it called now? I hardly even look at it. Um, oh God, I forget the name. A retiree's journey in Rwanda, something like that. And it's just a little channel. I mean, um, I have maybe 10 videos or something, and I think most of them are shorts. Um, I was just going to focus on that, but yeah. So yeah, I'm not monetized, and I tried to. I went to my bank. I went to other financial institutions. How if someone wanted to send money to me, they said, "I'm sorry, we don't have anything like that." So that's something. I mean, there's Western Union, but oh, come on. So yeah, so you know, I don't want to do something when it becomes a job, that you want to hustle, you want to, yeah, I don't want to get like that. I've never been like that on my videos. Have I ever said, like 2017, my peak in uploading videos? Yeah, I said, watch. How did it go? Watch, share, subscribe, and that was it. That was it, you know. So I don't want to get ugly. I don't want to um, get bent out of shape on on an issue, whether it's politics, whatever. I don't want to fight people. I don't want to fight anybody. I it's not it's watching some of my favorite YouTube. It's not a joy anymore. They're just fighting each other, and that's the goal, I think. YouTube is creating us, or social media in general, is creating enemies. People are just mudslinging. I don't want to be a part of that. So I want to spend some time. I want to get in that garden. Yeah, they're going to hopefully, they deliver my supplies to later on today. Yeah. And maybe I just go for a little short walk with Lavy Boy here. Just be very careful because he can't really walk very well now. I want to enjoy life. For me, being in nature is like being with God. And that's what I want more of. I want more of God in my life. The love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. That's all I see. And the thing with Charlie Kirk, it looks like that he was to get an audit. He wrote a letter, a memo, an internal memo for his staff to do an audit. And the rest is history. He became unalived. It's not worth it. Money's not even real. Money's not real. I learned that lesson when I was 7 years old. Money ain't real. Yes, I need money to pay my rent, to buy my food, to play the game. There is a game here in this realm, in this dimension, and it requires money. But the true people here, I call the people of the earth. Those people, those are tribal people. They don't have money. They live in how God intended them to live. And I want to learn how to live more off grid if I can. I don't know how to do it. I better start asking the people here, hey, how do you live without a refrigerator? Much of your energy goes for that refrigerator that sucks up a lot of your energy. Yeah, I'm going to start asking questions or finding content out there, how to live off grid, how to live without a refrigerator, how to store my food so I don't need these technologies. Technology is really your slave master. It oppresses you. And then when that money gets dry, you get ugly like some of these YouTubers. And I don't want to go there. So let me get myself out and about here. I have to mop my floor and take care of little Lavy boy here. Yeah, my little baby. So yes, I thank you for watching and peace and love to you. Until next time, okay? Wish me luck with my harvest. Okay, my plant harvest. And yeah, I'll show pictures of that as well. Take care, guys. Enjoy your day. Bye bye.